All right, ladies and gentlemen, the 2025 schedule has been released. Rejoice, because that means we are one step closer to the beginning of the 2025 NFL season. And what we are going to do, we are going to break down the entire schedule. We are going to give our way too early first crack at our 2025 season predictions. We're going to identify the matchups we like, the stacks we don't like. I'm curious to know what you guys think about where the bye week is placed, but we're going to talk about it all right now. You guys already know what to do. Drop an SDS in the chat. Smash that like button and let's react to it all right now. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in. We got it going. We got exactly what we were looking for. We have the 2025 schedule right here in front of us. And boy, oh boy, it's an exciting time as we get ready to embark on a new journey on, dare I say, quest. Have we retired the quest? But we are definitely headed towards a new year and a big year for the San Francisco 49ers, who are headed into what has been deemed the easiest schedule in the NFL based on strength of schedule. So let's take a look at that schedule right now and let's react to it and see how we are feeling. We'll start at the very top and we'll work our way all the way down. But as you can see, there is our schedule. We are going to be starting on the road. Division opponent, Seattle Seahawks, week 1. How are we feeling about that? We have the 49ers starting out with a game that means quite a bit, starting with the Seattle Seahawks. So I'm curious to know what you guys think about this one. You dropping a W for a win or an L for a loss, and we're going to go through and we're going to track what our record is. I'm going to go ahead and say the San Francisco 49ers feeling refreshed, ready to go, new defensive identity. They are going to head into Seattle. They're collecting a W. I'm sorry, Sam Darnold. I'm sorry, my guy. The San Francisco 49ers, they're ready to go. And I actually think that starting out with a division opponent, I think sets the tone for a season. Now, typically, I wouldn't want this. I would say the division opponents later on, because as we discussed, the first 4 weeks are typically like the preseason for the starters. So I don't love having meaningful games in the first quarter of the year, but the San Francisco 49ers start with a game where you're going to want to win. And so I'll take it. To me, you're getting the juices flowing in the right direction right out the gate. You got to go into enemy territory in Seattle and get a dub to start your season off right. Get the momentum heading in the right direction. So I don't mind it, actually. I think it's I actually like this. Typically I wouldn't, but I think based on how last year went, I think starting off with a game that means something, I think will help. I think it will help get the momentum going on the right direction. But they start with 2 back-to-back road games. So after they go and fly up north to Seattle, they will be traveling all the way to New Orleans to face off against the Saints. This is going to be an interesting one. Drop your W's in the chat or your L's if you think this is going to be a loss. If you think this is going to be a loss, I'll keep my comments to myself. This to me is going to be a W. When you look at the Saints, they are kind of a rebuilding franchise. They just had their starting quarterback Derek Carr retire. Yes, they drafted Shook out of Louisville. They have Rattler. They have Hayner. They got a lot of unproven pieces just at quarterback. So for that alone, I'm going to say the revamped defensive line is going to get after the Saints. And we're already talking 2-0, baby. And then the San Francisco 49ers get their home opener week 3 against AZ. And I'm sorry, I don't think this is homerism. Again, you drop it in the chat. Week 3, is that a win or a loss? When I look at the Arizona Cardinals, you look at Marvin Harrison, you look at their quarterback, Kyler Murray, I do think they are a well-coached team. But, I do think that the San Francisco 49ers are still the better team. AZ does play the San Francisco 49ers pretty well. I will say that. And they had a great draft. They're an ascending team. I'll give them that, but I'm sorry, I'm going W here. Home opener, Levi's Stadium. I think the crowd will be rocking. I think the boys will be ready to go. And I'm starting at the gate 3-0. Now you have the Jacksonville Jaguars coming down. Will this be a win? Will this be a loss? The Jags, they're a team with a new head coach, new general manager, new direction, Trevor Lawrence. They got Brian Thomas, phenomenal weapon, Brenton Strange, great tight end. They're a team heading in a new direction, but I just don't see them coming in and beating the San Francisco 49ers, who is returning pretty much the same offense that they have had for years, but I do think they will be better off. And at this point, I'm assuming Brandon Ayuk could be back at this time cooking. So you could be looking at a wide receiver room, Brandon Ayuk, Jawan Jennings, Ricky Pearsall, just at the top. And we'll see. I'm calling that a W. This reminded me so far, what was it, the 2022 season, 2023 season? I can't even remember, where the San Francisco 49ers started out 5-0. And all right, so here we go. I got 4-0. Now this is going to be the real test. The Rams got better this offseason. They retained Matthew Stafford. They went out and they got Davante Adams. Their defensive line is only going to get better with more experience. They added more to the defense. I would say that the Rams are going to be better than they were last year. So now I want to see, where are we putting this? Are the San Francisco 49ers going to Levi's South and collecting a W against the Rams? Again, they should have won that game last year in SoFi, but they let it slip through their fingertips. And so for the most part, I see flip a coin might be 50-50. I see W. I see L's. I'm just going to go based on the law of averages. I don't know if the 49ers are starting out 5-0. If they do, they could. I could see it. I could definitely see it happening. I'm going to throw an L here just for balance. I'm not throwing an L for balance. I do think that the 49ers can beat the Rams. That is not something that I'm worried about. But for balance, we're going to start the season 4-1. But just remember, we got another Rams game coming up. But next you have the Bucks. So they're back on the road. So they're back in Tampa. I was at that game last year. Honestly, based on the matchup and having some recent history with that team, I do think that the 49ers would be able to beat the Bucks. I do think that it was a close one. But I do think that the 49ers will go back to Tampa and they will collect that W. So as it stands right now, I got the 49ers 5-1 on the season. So let's just look at it right now through that lens through the first 6 games. That's a pretty solid opening 6 games. 3 of those games are going to be against division opponents. So you're going to want to win those games. You're going to want to take care, and you're going to want to get the win on the road in Seattle right out the gate. You're going to want to beat AZ at home. And obviously, you're going to want to go down to LA and beat the Rams. But if the San Francisco 49ers can take care of business there, then I think we're in a good spot. I think we're in a good spot for sure. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But when you look at that first chunk of games, the first 6, I think it's a pretty solid. I think it's a pretty solid matchup. And I think that the 49ers can come out on top in that first portion. So let's keep it rolling. We got week 7 against the Falcons. Week 7 against the Falcons. Let me see here. Which one of these games? So so that Rams game is actually a primetime game. That is a Thursday night football game. So week 5, that's going to be an interesting one. Short week, traveling down south, not too bad. But that is the only primetime game that they have in that first 6 games. Week 7 against the Falcons on October 19th, that is going to be a prime time game. Sunday night football versus the Falcons. Michael Penix. I think the Falcons are going to be a good team, to be honest. I do. I really do. I think Bijan Robinson, Drake London, you look at what they're doing on the defensive side with Raheem Morris. I think the Falcons present a challenge. What say you? Do the 49ers get a dub at home on prime time, or do the Falcons play spoiler? I'm going to say the 49ers get a dub against the Falcons. That's the crazy thing about this schedule, and I think one of the first things that we're looking at here. This is a very solid schedule, maybe outside of the bye placement, but I don't know. Maybe the bye placement isn't so bad, and I'll make my case for that here in a second. But let's get through this. So the 49ers go they play the Texans, which looks like at home. No, they're on the road. Okay, so 10 a.m. start in Houston on the road. Ooh, this is going to be an interesting game. CJ Stroud heading into year 3, coached by D'Amico Ryans. They added a lot of firepower on the offensive side. 10 a.m. start. I got to go with the trap game somewhere. I'm gonna go with the L here, not because I don't think the 49ers can beat the Texans, but we got to have some balance. I don't think the 49ers are going 17-0. So I think that you go, it's a 10 a.m. start. What is that? Central time. So their body clocks are a little bit behind. Texans are a good team. I say the 49ers maybe don't come away with the win against the Texans. So I'm going L against the Texans. And if we look at the next week, which is week 9, which is another road game. So back-to-back road games. So what's crazy is in their first 9 games, 6 of those games are on the road. So that's a very interesting dynamic for this season so far. So first through 9 weeks, they're on the road for 6 of them. But because they're facing New York, that could be a trap, but I don't think it's enough of a trap. I think the 49ers go in, collect the W. We don't know who their starting quarterback's going to be. Is it Russell Wilson? Is it going to be Jackson Dart? Is it going to be, I don't know who it's going to be. So we'll see. I think the 49ers are still the better team. So I think the 49ers get the W versus the Giants. So week 10, the 49ers are back home versus the Rams. The 49ers get the dub here. They get the dub here against the Rams. I don't know what you guys think about this one. Let me know in the chat. Is this a W or is this an L? I think the San Francisco 49ers come away with the dub against the Rams at home on November 9th. I think that's the way the cookie crumbles there. So, based on what we have through 10 weeks, I only have 2 losses. So, our way too early season prediction is turning out pretty well. So let's keep it rolling. Week 11 against AZ. Sweep. I'm going with the sweep. Yes, they're on the road, but the 49ers are cooking at this point, and they take care of AZ on the road. So not too worried about that one. And then the San Francisco 49ers, geez, home game against the Panthers, and that's a prime time game. That's a Monday Night Football game against the Panthers. Bryce Young, Ted McMillan. I think the Panthers are going to be an improved team. You got the CMC kind of matchup, playing against his old team that traded him. Yeah, I'm going W here. I'm going W there. Now, I don't know about you guys, man. I'm trying to check myself. I feel like I see There's a lot of W's on this list. There's a lot of W's. I feel like this is typically the case when the schedule first comes out because we're just so dang hyped. But, dude, I only have 2 losses. I don't know about you guys. I almost feel like that's too good. I might have to find a trap game in here somewhere. And honestly, could that be against the Browns? There's always a trap game somewhere. But I don't think it's going to be against the Browns. I'm going W. Yes, the Browns beat us the last time we played there. And it could be an issue. Ooh, that's a good point. It is before the bye, though. Ooh, this one feels like a toss-up. They lost JOK, one of their best defenders. They did add Mason Graham in the draft. They had a pretty solid draft. Ooh. If the weather is bad, that is the consideration. This is a November 30th game. Ooh, I'm going to switch it up. They've been on a tear. They get hit with some bad weather potentially. They're going to take an L against the Brownies. Not a big deal because they head into the bye week. And then, so bye week 14. Let's talk about this for a second. What do we think about the bye being week 14? Again, this schedule kind of feels like a bit of a deviation from years past a little bit. I feel like typically a week 14 bye would not be ideal and wouldn't be something that I would like to see in the schedule. I like the bye right around the middle of the year. But to be honest, I'm kind of looking at this like the San Francisco 49ers didn't have the playoffs this year, right? So no playoffs. They got an extra like 2 months more this offseason than they typically have. So because of that, I assume that the 49ers are going to be more fresh to start this season. So I actually think that they will be okay. I don't think they'll like it. Let me make that clear. I don't think they will love the bye week being in week 14. But the way that I'm trying to look at it is you got a 13-week sprint, which is it's a lot. It's a lot of games. But then you get a bye, and then you have 4 weeks left before the playoff starts. And so the way that I'm looking at it is that it's kind of like a break before the playoffs. So based on the schedule, based on how we're anticipating the 49ers to kind of return to the team that we know them to be, I think the bye can help them heading into the playoffs. Obviously, it won't help them as ideally for, like, let's say the middle of the season, but I do think for a playoff push, this is helpful. I think that it gives them a break right before then, gives them time to go away after grinding a 13-week season, not including the 3 preseason games, but then they can go away, they can go do a quick trip away and then come back, and it's playoff push time. And then they come back week 15 against the Titans, Cam Ward and the Titans. I'm going to say a dub out of the bye. And then they go to on the road to the Colts. On the road to the Colts. I think the 49ers could beat the Colts, especially in a primetime game on Monday Night Football. I think they could definitely win this game, but for balance, I'm going to give an L here. Not because I think they will lose, but I got to balance out this schedule a little bit. Then they got Bears, Week 17, another primetime game, Sunday Night Football on NBC. I'm calling that a W. And then finishing the season at home against Seattle, I'm calling that a W. So even with some of those losses, I only got 4 losses on the year. I don't know. Drop your records in the chat. So my way too early 2025 season prediction. I have 13-4, which that's not bad. So 13-4 is pretty good. So I would say floor is 11-6, and then ceiling is 15-2. So if we're looking at an 11-6 floor, that's still most likely playoffs. So not bad at all. Honestly, I think this is solid. And what I'm just seeing right now from Josh Dubow is that the 49ers play 0 teams coming off a bye this year. So last year, it was like the inverse. It felt like every team they played was coming off a bye. This time, the 49ers play 0 teams coming off a bye. So that's pretty good. That is pretty good. I like this schedule. I'm not going to lie. I think it's a nice little run in the beginning. A lot of away games. 6 out of 9 are on the road. But then you finish back with a decent amount of home games on the back half and a bye. I think this is a good schedule. I think that this is a winnable schedule. I think that this is a schedule that should have the 49ers back in the playoffs. So, I mean, that's pretty solid. If we just play in the floor, which is 11-6, that's pretty good. That's pretty good, baby. So I'm hyped. I'm hyped on this. All right. So which games are you guys going to be traveling to? And again, if you guys are getting your tickets, make sure you use TickPick. They will hook you up with the best tickets around, best prices around. So make sure you use TickPick if you guys are going to be buying any of your tickets to games this year. They're always going to have you in a good spot. So make sure you're using TickPick. But I think I'm going to be at Seattle. Dude, Seattle to New Orleans could be a crazy start to the year. I don't know. I might think about it. Maybe I haven't been to AZ yet, so I do want to make it out to AZ, and it's week 11, so not bad. So let's see. Should I make it a goal to go to every single um game this year? I've never done that before. But honestly, the schedule bears out pretty nicely because I would go travel to Seattle, come back home, travel to New Orleans, come back home, then go to AZ, Jags, easy trip to LA. That's nothing. Go to Tampa, come back, home game, go to Texans. This would be the hard one. I would probably have to go from Texans to New York, maybe. That would be the interesting one. Go Texans to New York, come back, game against the Rams, fly to AZ. That's no biggie. Come back, fly to Cleveland, come back. Wow, I could maybe do it. I could maybe do it. Shout out to Steven, man. Sorry to hear that, brother. But we're gonna fight with you, and we're gonna make sure we get some dubs, man, this season, and we're gonna get you back on the right track for sure. Are the seats at top of Levi South good? I've never sat up there, to be honest with you. I've only sat in the lower bowl, but I'm not sure. It's a huge stadium. It's a huge stadium. There's a lot of different elements to it. But I'm sure there's not that bad of a situation here. So yeah, man, I'm gonna see what I can do. I'm gonna see if I can I make it. Maybe I can make that a goal. Go to every single game on the 49ers schedule this year. That would be wild. All right. So let's watch this here. I haven't watched this yet. My guy Kyle, I gotta post this. I haven't been able to post it yet because obviously doing 4 billion things at once. But let me get the we got a schedule release video. Shout out to my guy Kyle, put it together. Let's watch it and then I'm gonna post it. Actually, can I watch it? Ooh, I might not be able to. I might not be able to. I might get hit with the good old copyright. So I might not be able to watch it. I'll still post it though. So all kinds of stuff, man. We got the schedule coming out. Feeling good, feeling excited about where the San Francisco 49ers are going this season. And I'm really, really looking forward to it. Shout out to everyone who tapped in for the live. I appreciate y'all. Excited to cover this upcoming season with you guys. This, again, I feel like we're all kind of fiending for 49ers football right now. I didn't see anything about jerseys, so I don't know if we're getting any jerseys or any of that stuff. So we'll see if that comes true or not. But I am very, very excited. And right before the schedule dropped, the 49ers paid Michael Williams a fully guaranteed contract. So good for him. and all that good stuff. But appreciate all you guys. Smash that like button on your way out. We got more content to be posted, and I appreciate you all. I'm out of here for now. Peace. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see you.